Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going through the civic questions and congratulations to you. If you are listening to this video, is because you are about to become a US citizen. So I congratulate you for that and I wish you the best of luck on your exam day. So we are going through 100 questions, and if you listen to me and you follow this video and listen to it over and over again while you're driving, when you're doing your house chores, this will help you tremendously. So what I'll be doing is that I will be giving you cues, hint on how to remember the questions, and I will not go through questions such as who is the current president of the US today, who's your senator, who's your House of Representatives. The reason why I will not be going through those kind of questions because the answers to those questions differ from the time you'll be taking your exam or the city, the state where you live into. So those kind of questions, I will just ask you to research to know the name of your senator right now, the name of your House of Representative right now, the current president. Just try to research those names. It will help you a lot. But I will go through the questions that have a general answer to it. Having said that, let's go in the first question. What is the supreme law of the land? What is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. What does the Constitution do? Set up the government. The Constitution set up the government. The idea of self-government is in the first three words of the Constitution. What are these words? We, the people. We, the people. Every time you hear them asking you, what are these three words? What are these words? We, the people, will be the answer. What is an amendment? What is an amendment? An amendment is a change. An amendment is a change. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? The Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights. Those are the 10 first amendments of the Constitution. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? Speech. How many amendments does the Constitution have? 27. 27 amendments. What did the Declaration of Independence do? What did the Declaration of Independence do? Said that the United States is free. The Declaration of Independence said that the United States is free. Okay. Question 9. What are two rights in the Declaration of Independence? What are two rights in the Declaration of Independence? Life and liberty. Life and liberty. What is freedom of religion? What is freedom of religion? You can practice any religion or not practice a religion. That is the freedom of religion. It means anyone can practice any religion or they can decide not to practice a religion? 11. What is the economic system in the United States? Market economy. What is the economic system in the United States? Market economy. What is the rule of law? What is the rule of law? It means no one is above the law. No one is above the law. That is the rule of law. Name one branch or part of the government. Name one branch or part of the government. Congress. What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? Checks and balances. Checks and balances. Who is in charge of the executive branch? Who is in charge of the executive branch? The president. Who makes federal laws? Who makes federal laws? Congress. What are the two parts of the U.S. Congress? The two parts of the U.S. Congress is the Senate and the House. The Senate and the House. How many U.S. senators are there? 100. Just remember, for every state, we have 50 states. Just try to memorize in your preparation that for every state there are 2 senators. That's why there is 100 senators. We elect a U.S. senator for how many years? 6 years. 6 years for a senator, 4 years for the president, and 2 years for a U.S. representatives. So 6 for a senator, 4 for president, 2 for representative. Okay, back to my question. We elect a U.S. senator for how many years? 6 years. Who is one of your state U.S. senator right now? These are questions that you research and write it down. Try to find out who is your senator right now and your House of Representatives right now. Just remember, try to write it down so you can know, because this question can come. They might ask you who is your senator and who is your representative right now, who is the president of the United States right now, or what is the capital of your state right now. These are questions that you answer. It is not general, it's specific to any individuals according to the place where you are living. So, question 21. The House of Representatives has how many voting members? The House of Representatives has how many members? 435. 435. So we have 100 senators and 435 representatives. We elect a U.S. representative for how many years? I said 2 years. So 6 years for a senator, 4 years for a president, and 2 years for a U.S. representative. Okay, going back to how many House representatives we have, it's going to be 435, and we have 100 senators representing us in the House. Okay, so question 23. Name your U.S. representative. So as I said, it depends on where you are living. So question 24. Who does a U.S. senator represent? All the people of the state. I live in Texas, so my senator represents every Texan. So you can be in Georgia, you can be in New Jersey. Your senator is representing y'all in the house. Okay. We elect a president for how many years? I said 4 years. 4 years for president. In what month do we vote for president? In November. Every president was voted for in November. Question 30. If the president can no longer serve, who becomes president? The vice president. The vice president becomes the president when the president can no longer serve. 31. If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president? The Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House becomes a president when both the president and the vice president cannot serve. Who is the commander-in-chief of the military? The president. Who signs bills to become laws? The president. Who vetoes bills? The president. So remember, 3 questions have the same answer. Who is a commander-in-chief? Who is the commander-in-chief of the military? It's going to be the president. Who signs bills to become law? President. And who vetoes bills? The president. So all of these 3 questions have the same answer. What does the president's cabinet do? They advise the president. So on the day of your exam, so if you don't understand the question very well, just ask the agent to repeat the question. So you can always say, hey, can you come back again, so that you don't confuse anything. So as I said, question 32, 33, 34, they all have the same answer. So try to memorize that. So what does the president's cabinet? The cabinet, they advises the president. So now, what are 2 cabinet levels positions? What are 2 cabinet level position? The Secretary of Labor, the Secretary of State. The Secretary of Labor, the Secretary of State. All these 2 are the 2 cabinet level position. What does the judicial branch do? What does the judicial branch do? The judicial branch, they reviews law. Judicial branch reviews laws. What is the highest court in the United States? What is the highest? And the answer is Supreme Court. So highest court, Supreme Court. So the question again, what is the highest court in the United States? The Supreme Court. Under our constitution, some powers belongs to the federal government. What is one power of the federal government? To print money. Under our constitution, some powers belong to the state. What is one power of the state? Provide schooling and education. So, question 41 and 42, they are the same, but only one thing differs the 2 questions. So 41 says, what is one power of the government? The federal government is to print money, but the power of the state, so the government of the US, has the power to print money. But the state now, it's 42. So as we live in Texas, the power of the state of Texas, they have the power to provide schooling and education, while the power of the government of the 50 state of the United States, they have the power to print out the US dollars. So remember, question 41, under our constitution, some powers belong to the federal government. What is one power of the federal government? To print out money. 42. Under our constitution, some powers belong to the state. What is one power of the state? Provide schooling and education. Question 43. Who is the governor of your state now? So research that. What is the capital of your state now? You can research that also. Question 45. What are the two major political parties in the United States? What are the two major political parties in the United States? We have the Republicans and we have the Democratic. So, what are the two major amendments to the Constitution about who can vote? Describe one of them. There are 4 amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. Citizen, 18 and older. What is one responsibility that is only for the United States citizen? Vote in a federal election. What is one responsibility that is only for the United States citizen? Vote in federal election. Question 50. Name one right only for United States citizen. Vote in federal election. What are 2 rights of everyone living in the United States? Citizens, undocumented, people with a green card, and so everyone living in the United States have the freedom of speech and freedom of religion. Question 51. For both citizen, green card holders, asylees, everyone that you can think of, we all have what we call the freedom of speech and freedom of religion. What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? The flag. What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? The flag. What is one promise you make when you become a US citizen? One promise that you make when you become a US citizen: be loyal to the United States. How old do citizens have to be to vote for president? 18 and older. What are 2 ways that Americans can participate in their democracy? By voting and running for office. 2 things. What are 2 ways that Americans can participate in their democracy? Vote and running for office. When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms? April 15. April 15. When must all men register for the Selective Service? At age 18. Question 58. What is one reason colonists came to America? What is one reason colonists came to America? For freedom. Who lived in America before the Europeans arrived? Native American. Who lived in America before Europeans came or arrived? Native Americans. What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? Africans. Why did the colonists fight the British? Why did the colonists fight the British? Because of high taxes. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Jefferson. Declaration of Independence, Jefferson. When was the Declaration of Independence adopted? July 4th, 1776. There were 13 original states. Name 3. There were 13 original states. Name 3. New York, New Jersey, Georgia. There were 13 original states. Name 3. New York, New Jersey, Georgia. What happened at the Conventional Convention? What happened at the Constitutional Convention? What happened at the Constitutional Convention? The Constitution was written. When was the Constitution written? 1787. When was the Constitution written? 1787. And remember, the Declaration of Independence was in 1776, July 4th. And the person that made the Declaration of Independence was Thomas Jefferson. And the Federalist Papers supported that the passage of the U.S. Constitution. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of the writers. Madison. Madison was one of the writers of the Constitution. Thomas Jefferson was the one for the Declaration of Independence. Name one of the writers for the Constitution. Madison. And the Constitution was written in 1787. Benjamin Franklin was a U.S. diplomat. So question 68 says, what is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? U.S. diplomat. Who is the father of our country? Washington. Who was the first president? Washington. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? Louisiana. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? Louisiana. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. Civil War. Civil War. Name the U.S. war between North and South. The Civil War. Name one problem that led to the Civil War. Slavery. I'll suggest that question 72, 73, you give one answer so that you don't have to memorize different things. So name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. I would suggest that you pick Civil War, and name the U.S. war between the North and the South. I would suggest that you pick Civil War. And 74 ask, name one problem that led to the Civil War. Pick slavery. So slavery was the reason of Civil War, and Civil War is the answer to the war between the North and the South, and Civil War is the answer for the 1800 war. Okay. So we are going to question 75. What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? Abraham Lincoln freed the slave. And what did the Emancipation What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? I will suggest again that for 75 and 76, give one answer. What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? Freed the slave. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? Freed the slave. Okay. 77. What did Susan B. Anthony do? Fought for civil right. Susan B. Anthony fought for civil right. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. World War I. So 1800, Civil War. And the reason of Civil War was slavery. And Civil War was the war fought between the South and the North. So remember that now. For World War I, World War II, it was in the 1900s. And who was president during World War I? It's going to be Woodrow Wilson. Remember the two W's, World War I, Woodrow Wilson. World War I, Woodrow Wilson. Two W's, two World War, and Woodrow Wilson. Okay, so question 80. Who was president during the Great Depression of World War II? World War II, Great Depression, Franklin Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt, World War II, Great Depression. Remember those are the two key words. World War II, Great Depression, Roosevelt. World War I, Woodrow Wilson. Okay. So who did the United States fight in World War II? In World War II, the US fought Japan, Germany, and Italy. Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? He was in World War II. Remember World War I, Woodrow Wilson, World War II, the Great Depression, Roosevelt, and Eisenhower was a general during World War II. Okay. During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? Communism. Communism. What movement tried to end racial discrimination? Racial discrimination, civil rights movement. Civil rights movement. What movement tried to end racial discrimination? Civil rights movement. Movement should be your keyword in this question. What movement? Civil rights movement. Okay. So, what did Martin Luther King Jr. do? Fought for civil rights. When it comes to civil rights, we have two questions with the same answer. Susan B. Anthony fought for civil rights. Martin Luther King fought for civil rights. Okay. What major event happened on September 11, 2001 in the United States? Terrorists attacked the United States. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Pick the first one, Cherokee. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Cherokee. Name one of the two longest rivers in the United States. Longest rivers, Mississippi. And remember, Mississippi has two S's and two P's. So Mississippi, one of the longest rivers in the United States, Mississippi. Because they might ask you to write it down, so remember how to write it, how to spell it. What ocean is on the west coast of the United States? West coast, Pacific. East coast, Atlantic. So remember, west coast, Pacific. East coast, Atlantic. Name one U.S. territory. One U.S. territory, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, U.S. territory. Name one state that borders Canada. Washington. A state that borders Mexico. Texas. Up north, Canada, it's Washington. Down south, bordering Mexico, Texas. So a state bordering Canada, Washington. A state bordering Mexico, Texas. Name one of the states that borders Mexico, Texas. What is the capital of the United States? Washington, D.C. Remember to say D.C. Don't just say Washington, because we have Washington State. So the capital of the United States is Washington, D.C. Okay. Where is the Statue of Liberty? New York. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? Because there were 13 original colonies. The 13 original colonies. Yeah. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? Because there were 13 original colonies. Why does the flag have 50 stars? Because there are 50 states. What is the name of the national anthem? The Star Spangled Banner. The Star Spangled Banner. Just remember to write it down, that you know the spelling. They might ask you to write down Star Spangled Banner. Make sure that you know how to write it. Yeah. When do we celebrate Independence Day? We celebrate on July 4th. Name two national U.S. holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas. Thanksgiving, Christmas. So I hope this was beneficial. So congratulations and good luck to you. Thank you.